Indonesia. A country that, by all logic, shouldn't exist, yet it has become one of the most diverse paradises on Earth. This archipelago stretches more than 5,000 kilometers from west to east, spanning the equator in a long, broken chain. It holds over 17,000 islands, set where the planet's forces collide with some of their greatest intensity. Born from drowned land, it is sustained by volcanoes that are still alive, still shaping the ground. By the rules of nature, this should have been a ruined, unlivable place, but reality chose the opposite. Here, staggering beauty and fierce life stand together, balanced on the edge of destruction. Azure water, emerald peaks, and temples drifting in cloud, all pressed into the same horizon. Year after year, people pass through fire, floods, and ash, and they choose to stay and rebuild. They carve a kind of heaven from what should have been impossible again and again. Long ago, Indonesia was a vast tropical land that sank beneath the sea, swallowed by rising water. When the glaciers melted, the ocean rose by as much as 300 feet, redrawing the map of the world. What you see today is the crest of drowned mountains, the last visible remnants of a continent that vanished. This nation sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where tectonic plates collide and grind, creating over 120 active volcanoes. They breathe ash and gas into Indonesia's skies, more persistently than in any other country on Earth. Here, volcanoes are not only mountains, not only scenery, and never truly silent. They are gods, makers, destroyers, and the heartbeat behind everything that follows. This is a land born of motion, where life survives through a fragile bargain with the earth. Paradise and danger share the same horizon, separated by only a thin line of calm. There is a lake on Sumatra's highlands that looks gentle, its surface smooth as glass in morning light. But it is the fingerprint of a supervolcanic eruption that once shifted the rhythm of the global climate. That event left a vast crater behind, an ancient scar that still seems to breathe in silence. There are men who, at dawn, descend into another crater, stepping steadily into the heat. They enter toxic sulfur smoke to harvest minerals that keep their families fed and sheltered. They move through heat and acid as if signing a quiet contract with the ground beneath them. There are stone temples raised on land that never fully stops trembling, built beside danger by choice. Blocks of stone become a miniature universe, surviving centuries of earthquakes, ash, and time. This journey moves from the Earth's scars to seas of volcanic sand, from ancient dragons to color-shifting lakes. We will pass immense stone sanctuaries and rice terraces shaped like a philosophy of balance and patience. We will reach remote paradises scattered across the ocean, in places where death becomes architecture. Indonesia is not just a travel destination, not just a collection of postcard views. It is a story of survival and of how people learn to live on ground that is always moving. Lake Toba. Lake Toba lies in North Sumatra, spreading like an inland sea between dark highlands and rolling green hills. In the morning, fog blankets the water, and the horizon dissolves into a pale, drifting blur. At roughly 1,100 square kilometers, it feels calm enough to forget it is the world's largest volcanic crater lake. From above, the shoreline curves like the rim of a colossal bowl, drawn with almost perfect breadth. This is a caldera formed when a magma chamber emptied and the land collapsed after a super eruption. Around 75,000 years ago, this region experienced one of the largest volcanic events humans have ever discovered. Scientists estimate it was over 1,000 times stronger than the 1980 eruption of Mount St. Helens. It hurled ash and gas across South Asia, triggering major cooling and widespread ecological disruption. In the aftermath, the landscape was left barren, and very little plant or animal life survived. Today, the lake is framed by Sumatra's lush forests, with Samosir Island resting quietly at its center. Steep caldera walls shape deep basins, while the lake sits about 904 meters above sea level. At its deepest point, the water drops to roughly 505 meters, holding shadow depths below. Around it, the terrain shifts between hills, mountains, and plains, forming a dramatic, varied panorama. Lake Toba is not only a geological wonder, but also a vital ecological and cultural region. It supports diverse plant and animal life and sustains livelihoods, including the Batak communities. They have lived in balance with this landscape for generations, learning its rhythms and limits. Their traditional wooden houses, rumah adat, are built with boat-like walls and raised on sturdy posts. They stand on stone bases without cement, shaped by knowledge of earthquakes, floods, and tectonic change. Batak culture is vibrant, marked by skilled craftsmanship and festivals such as Sigalgale. In that festival, carved wooden puppets tell stories, carrying memory through movement and music. One of the most iconic Batak crafts is ulos, a hand-woven cloth of bold red, black, and white. Often accented with gold or silver thread, ulos carries both beauty and meaning in its weave. It is essential in formal rituals, and it is gifted at weddings, births, and other turning points. Sometimes it is worn as protection during labor, a fabric that holds hope as well as warmth. In 2020, Lake Toba was recognized as a UNESCO Global Geopark, confirming its global significance. That title honors not only beauty, but the scientific value of a landscape forged by Earth's internal power. Rock layers and ancient lava terraces form an open-air classroom of how the planet rebuilds after catastrophe. Indonesia endures not because it avoids change, but because it renews itself again and again. And people endure with it, learning to live within motion instead of against it. Mount Bromo. In East Java, Mount Bromo is part of Bromo Tengger Semeru National Park, covering about 800 square kilometers. The park spans 4 regencies: Probolinggo, Pasuruan, Lumajang, and Malang, across shifting volcanic terrain. It offers craters and seas of sand, fertile plateaus and waterfalls, all within one restless landscape. Mount Bromo sits inside a vast basin known as the Tengger Massif, surrounded by the sea of sand. Above it stands Semeru, Java's highest volcano, like a constant presence on the horizon. Though smaller than many of Indonesia's volcanoes, Bromo delivers views that feel anything but small. At 2,392 meters, this active cone is famous for a surreal landscape that refuses to feel ordinary. Penanjakan Peak is the classic viewpoint for sunrise, when the world seems to hold its breath. From here you see Bromo, Semeru, and the Sea of Sand spread out in one sweeping panorama. Mist gathers in the valley below, tinted amber and pink, and the scene can feel unreal. The Tengger Sand Sea is pure otherworldliness, a desert of ash shaped by wind and time. It looks like a set from science fiction, with dunes and strange textures shifting underfoot. You can cross it on foot, on horseback, or in a 4-wheel drive Jeep cutting through open space. From the sand sea's edge, a walk or horse ride leads to steep steps climbing toward the crater rim. Sulfur smoke rolls upward, and the air carries the raw energy of a living volcano. At the crater, you look down into the depths, and the experience turns quietly surreal. This terrain has inspired countless legends, woven into the way people understand the mountain. For the Tengger people, Bromo holds deep meaning tied to a story of sacrifice and devotion. Once a year during the Kasada festival, offerings are carried up toward the volcano at night. Vegetables, chickens, and money are cast into the crater as an act of respect and remembrance. Indonesia turns danger into ritual, and ritual into an experience that draws thousands every year. Komodo National Park. Komodo National Park sits in the heart of Indonesia, between the islands of Sumbawa and Flores. It includes Rinca, Komodo, and Padar, along with smaller volcanic islands scattered across the sea. Set where tectonic forces meet, it lies in Wallacea, between Asian and Australasian ecosystems. It is a global conservation priority, protecting land and marine habitats across about 219,322 hectares. The dry climate shaped distinct plant life, from open savanna to monsoon forests and cloud forests. Rugged hills and sparse vegetation contrast with white beaches and blue water rich with coral life. The park's most famous resident is the Komodo lizard, Varanus komodoensis, found nowhere else. It has long fascinated scientists, offering clues about evolution and survival in isolation. Often called the Komodo dragon, it is the world's largest living lizard, usually 2 to 3 meters long. It is the last survivor of a wider group of giant lizards once found across Indonesia and Australia. Beyond the dragons, the park shelters scrub fowl, endemic rodents, and Timor deer across the dry hills. Offshore, coral reefs thrive, and strong currents draw turtles, whales, dolphins, and dugongs. Komodo is a landscape of contrasts where harsh savanna meets turquoise water and living reef. It is one of Indonesia's most striking environments, both on land and beneath the waves. In 1986, UNESCO recognized the park as a World Heritage Site and a Biosphere Reserve. Those titles reflect its global biological importance and the responsibility to protect it. Kelimutu. High on Flores at about 1,639 meters, Kelimutu holds 3 crater lakes resting side by side. Each lake carries its own color, as if the mountain painted 3 different moods at once. One is pale turquoise, one is deep green, and one glows reddish-brown like wet earth. The wonder is that these colors are not fixed and the mountain does not promise consistency. They shift over time, sometimes within years, sometimes over longer cycles that are hard to predict. The view feels enchanted, as if nature is quietly testing its own palette. Scientifically, the color shifts link to minerals and oxidation levels that differ from lake to lake. Volcanic gases rise and mix with groundwater, continuously adjusting the chemistry of the water. It is a massive chemical reaction in the open air. No laboratory needed, no glass beakers. And yet, for local communities, the lakes are more than minerals, more than chemistry alone. Some say each lake is where spirits return after leaving this world, finding their own place. They believe the shifting colors reflect the moods of those spirits, changing with unseen currents. That belief does not have to compete with science, because both can be true in different ways. They sit together like 2 layers of meaning resting on the same landscape, side by side. Kelimutu is also a place of deep cultural significance, carried in names and local stories. Those names evoke elders, youth, and mystery, tied to the world of spirits and memory. The color-changing lakes even appeared on Indonesian rupiah banknotes, a national symbol in plain sight. Still, recent volcanic activity on Flores is a reminder to check conditions before visiting. Bali. Bali is often seen as Indonesia's masterpiece, where geology, belief, and daily life converge. Mount Agung rises in the east like a sacred axis, anchoring the island's sense of direction. Across its slopes, temples have honored this volcano for more than 1,000 years. At Pura Besaki, the mother temple, pilgrims climb ancient steps through bells and incense. At the same time, tour buses run along the same roads, drawn toward the same mountain. Both streams of people are pulled toward rice terraces, carved from old volcanic soil. Higher up, the gates of heaven at Pura Lempuyang frame Agung's summit in near symmetry. It became one of Bali's most photographed scenes, a single image repeated across the world. Visitors may wait for hours for their moment, while priests continue rituals only meters away. At Pura Pasar Agung, built into the slope, offerings are placed toward the volcano's crater. Agung erupted in 2017, dusting temple roofs with ash that settled like a reminder. Ancient devotion and modern tourism coexist around a mountain that is still alive. Across Bali, waterfalls become stages where ritual and curiosity share the same air. At Sekumpul, cascades fall through mist, while morning offerings meet waiting cameras. Tukad Chapung hides in a rocky cavern where light pours down like sacred pillars. Gitgit flows through a sacred forest where cleansing rituals unfold beside the steady roar. At Teganungan, wedding processions and ritual bathers share the same pools below the falls. At Nungnung, grandeur draws in both waterfall chasers and those who come for quiet prayer. In Ubud, the Kekak fire dance rises each night in hypnotic chant and rhythm. Dozens of men sit in a circle, the kak sound repeating like a shared heartbeat. The audience leans in, cameras ready as the Ramayana lives again in movement and flame. In the sacred monkey forest, long-tailed macaques move freely between temple stones and paths. They seem to know their place in a space that is both holy and open. Tradition and tourism blur together, creating something uniquely Balinese and deeply resilient. Even Bali's world-famous surf breaks tell the same story in water and reef. Waves form where geological forces meet volcanic coral reefs, shaping swells that travel far. The same instability that makes this land feel fragile also creates conditions that feel perfect. Modern Bali is proof of Indonesia's rare genius, turning danger into sustenance. Volcanic soil grows rice that nourishes both the gods and visitors from far away. Spiritual practices that once secured survival now anchor a booming wellness economy. Temples built to calm dangerous forces are now among the world's most visited sacred sites. And the hazards that shape Indonesia have also preserved landscapes so pristine they feel mythical. Bali stands between fire, water, and belief as a living lesson in choosing to stay. Yogyakarta. Yogyakarta is the cultural heartbeat of Java, where art, scholarship, and tradition fill daily life. Yet the region sits near tectonic faults and close to Mount Merapi, facing recurring hazards. In 2006, a major earthquake collapsed hundreds of thousands of homes and displaced over 1 million people. Merapi has erupted repeatedly, dusting rooftops and surrounding fields with ash and gray light. And still, after every upheaval, people rebuild, and the rhythm of life returns. Schools reopen, music rises again, and the morning markets fill as if practicing hope. In the late 1800s, Yogyakarta became a cradle of batik, shaping Indonesia's textile identity. Artisans draw patterns with dots and lines of hot wax, tracing stories into cloth. The wax resists dye, allowing selective color through repeated dipping and careful boiling. Motifs carry many influences, reflecting trade, history, and the island's layered identities. Batik is worn across life's milestones, from birth to death, as fabric and meaning. In 2009, UNESCO recognized Indonesian batik as intangible cultural heritage of humanity. Borobudur Temple. Borobudur is a Buddhist temple complex built around the 8th and 9th centuries on a natural hill. A pyramid-like base supports 5 concentric square terraces, rising toward 3 circular platforms. At the summit stands a great central stupa, anchoring the structure like a final thought. Reliefs cover about 2,520 square meters, carved with precision into walls and balustrades. 72 perforated stupas sit on the upper platforms, each holding a seated Buddha. The design aligns with Buddhist cosmology, dividing the world into 3 stacked realms. Kamadhatu is the realm of desire, Rupadhatu the realm of form, and Arupadhatu the formless. At Borobudur, the base reflects Kamadhatu, the square terraces Rupadhatu, and the upper levels Arupadhatu. 2 smaller temples lie on the same axis to the east, forming a purposeful line. Mendut holds a monumental Buddha carved from a single stone, flanked by 2 bodhisattvas. Pawan is smaller, and its inner worship remains less clearly identified in tradition. Together, the 3 temples symbolize stages on the path toward nirvana and release. UNESCO recognized the Borobudur Temple compounds as a World Heritage Site in 1991. Prambanan Temple compounds. Built in the 10th century, Prambanan is Indonesia's largest temple complex dedicated to Shiva. It includes Prambanan, also called Loro Jonggrang, alongside Sewu, Bubra, and Lumbung temples. Prambanan itself contains around 240 temples within the broader archaeological park. Shrines to Shiva, Vishnu, and Brahma are adorned with Ramayana reliefs carved in stone. Hundreds of smaller shrines surround them in ordered zones, showing high architectural skill. Across the wider area, more than 500 temples form a major cultural treasure in Java. It also stands as evidence of religious coexistence, held in stone across centuries. UNESCO recognized the Prambanan Temple compounds as a World Heritage Site in 1991. Bajanier. In West Papua, Raja Ampat spreads across about 610 islands, cays, and islets, with only 34 inhabited. Its remoteness forms a natural barrier, protecting these seas from faster tides of development. From above, limestone islands rise like a deep green labyrinth, cut by narrow channels. Steep karst cliffs and gripping roots frame sheltered bays where the water turns electric blue. This beauty is not only visual, because it is also an ancient geological story. Bedrock here is hundreds of millions of years old, lifted by tectonic force and carved by time. Each island reads like a chapter in the Earth's long book, written in stone and water. Below the calm surface is a living city, built from reef, current, and constant motion. Raja Ampat lies in the Coral Triangle, one of the richest centers of marine life on Earth. Its reefs hold over 75% of known coral species and more than 1,320 reef fish species. The region shelters 5 rare or threatened sea turtle species, including the hawksbill turtle. About 60% of reefs remain in good to excellent condition, still resilient and alive. Mangroves, seagrass beds, deep reefs, and coastal habitats combine into dense biodiversity. Raja Ampat is recognized by UNESCO as a global geopark, with biosphere-level priorities. Tana Toraja. Tana Toraja lies in the southern highlands of Sulawesi, where terraces wrap limestone cliffs. The land is peaceful and fertile, yet it is known for an uncommon relationship with death. Here, death is not only an ending, but a bridge into another way of belonging. Tunkanan houses rise across valleys, their roofs curved like boat bows lifting toward sky. They stand on strong pillars with facades carved in red, black, and gold. Stacked buffalo horns mark past ceremonies, counting memory in visible layers. A Tunkanan is not merely a home, but a symbol of lineage and responsibility. It holds ancestral stories, inheritance, and the duty carried by those who come next. When someone passes away, they may be seen as makula, not yet fully gone. Families may keep them close for months or years, treating them as still present. During this time, the family prepares Rambu Solo, the principal funeral rite lasting days. It honors life and marks a transition toward Puya, the afterworld in Toraja belief. Because of that belief, the rite can include gathering, music, food, and shared presence. A central element is the sacrifice of buffalo or pigs, linked to the journey of the soul. Burial can take many forms, from house-like tombs to caves and cliffside chambers. Wooden effigies called tau may stand at entrances, facing the valley below. The terrain becomes a cemetery, and the cemetery becomes part of the landscape. Later, some families perform manin, a ritual cleansing that renews bonds with ancestors. They bring ancestors out, wash them, change clothing, and return them gently to rest. This journey through Indonesia closes like a long film about life, motion, and resilience. We moved from ancient scars of the earth to communities standing firm on shifting ground. We met mechanisms, beliefs, and daily negotiations that turn instability into a way of life. Each chapter offered a different angle on the same enduring question. How do you live on a planet that is always moving? We hope these images and stories reach beyond the surface and into your curiosity. Maybe they sparked a wish to feel volcanic heat, hear water in terraces, or sit in highland quiet. Or maybe they simply invited a slower gaze and a deeper way of seeing. If a place stayed with you, share it with us in the comments below. And if you'd like to keep exploring, subscribe and join us for the next journey.